Hey there, guys. How's it going? It's Dirty Jesus. We are on location somewhere deep in Brooklyn, New York. It's like, could I have gotten a rooftop to showcase how awesome an urban center like this is? Yes, but I didn't. And this is also not a live stream because we are fighting on a tethered signal, so it's a little iffy. But we did get a call from Julie, and she has some questions. She didn't clarify what those questions necessarily were specifically, but you know, um, questions might have answers. And if she's calling me 1-866-10-6663, they might not be the most normal of questions because I like to, the brand that I have on the internet. Oh yeah, I should probably get the Bible just in case. I can. Oh yeah, it'll be in the background. Okay, hang on 1 second. Like, does that look good? Yeah, that does look good. Oh shit, but we were gonna look something up. Okay, hold on. Just bear with me. Okay, so apparently, yeah, we'll do this right. We'll do this right. So apparently, in Revelations, you gotta look this shit up before you start. Is it 9? Okay, hang on. We're gonna look this up really quickly. So there was supposed to be an event that occurred that some Christians thought was gonna be indicative of the revelation, like the final end times, and it has to do with Virgo, um, Jupiter revelation. We're gonna look that up. We got some slow internet. Revolution 12. Oh my god. Okay. Revelation. Yeah, whatever. We'll just read the whole thing. I don't give a shit. So Revelation 12. A great portent appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. She was pregnant and was crying out in birth pangs in the agony of giving birth. Then another portent appeared in heaven, a great red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 diadem on his head. His tail swept down a third of the stars of heaven and threw them to earth. Then the dragon stood before the woman who was about to bear a child so that he might devour her child as soon as it was born. And she gave birth to a son, a male child, who was to rule all the nations with a rod of iron. But her child was snatched away and taken to God and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness where she has a place prepared by God so that there she can be nourished for 1,260 days. And war broke out in heaven, Michael and all his angels. So apparently, Jupiter is moving through the Virgo constellation right now, and then above that is Leo, which is 9 stars, and then the 3 visible planets, like maybe, well, like, no, it wouldn't be Jupiter. I don't know. The point is that some people of a apocalyptic mindset believe that if not right now, then sometime really really soon, that Revelation 12 was proven. Is it good to rule with a rod of iron? Is that a thing? I don't know. And then I don't know, like, why this woman fled into. I'm not a big fan of Revelation, to be completely honest with you. But let's keep going. I don't know, whatever. Let's finish 12. And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. So what is this dragon? The dragon and his angels fought back, but they were defeated, and there was no longer any place for them in heaven. The great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven proclaiming, now have come the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Messiah. For the accuser of our comrades has been thrown down, who accuses them day and night before our God. But they have conquered him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, for they did not cling to life even in the face of death. Rejoice then, you heavens and those who dwell in them. But woe to the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you with great wrath, because he knows that his time is short. So, when the dragon saw that he had been thrown down to the earth, he pursued the woman who had given birth to the male child. So this woman is a virgin, like the constellation of Virgo. And apparently this, according to the person I spoke to, this was predicted, like, also tens of 20s of whatever thousands of years ago, when people didn't have much television or internet, so they just looked at the sky a lot. But the woman was given the 2 wings of the great eagle so that she could fly from the serpent into the wilderness. But it's a dragon. Doesn't a dragon have wings? Whatever. From the serpent into the wilderness to her place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time. Okay. Then from his mouth the serpent poured water like a river after the woman to sweep her away with the flood. But the earth came to the help of the woman. It opened its mouth and swallowed the river that the dragon had poured from his mouth. Then the dragon was angry with the woman and went off to make war on the rest of her children, those who keep the commandments of God and hold the testimony of Jesus. Then there's like more dragon stuff, but I think we're done. Okay, so that might be happening. This could be a test of the emergency spiritual broadcast network. We could be in big trouble right now. I don't know. Yeah. So, who knows? Who knows if she's going to answer? Who knows if the phone is the phone line is sufficiently strong because of the tethering situation. But we're going to try to give Julie a call and see how she is doing. Which one do I want? Okay, I want that. All right. Spiritual guidance possibly on the way. Oh my God, don't do that. Hello? Session progress.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Julie, this is Dirty Jesus. I'm not sure if I can hear you, though. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Okay, I'm going to try to call you. I'll try to call you back. Damn it. Oh, maybe that kicked out. Oh, there we go. Such a goof. Here we go. I'm pretty sure she answered too, so we'll cross our fingers here. There we go.
Hello?
Hi, is this Julie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, hey, Julie, this is Dirty Jesus calling. You gave me a call a couple days ago. I'm just calling you back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you had some questions for me. How you doing?
I'm good.
You're good. Excellent. What brought you to my little piece of the internet?
Well, okay, first off, my question is, who you guys with?
Who are we with? You mean like? with God, or like, what do you mean?
Oh, okay. So is this um off of the YouTube videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
I had some questions.
Cool.
Yeah. Hi. I
Hi.
was like I was like I had to figure out who I was speaking with
Yeah,
here.
that's cool.
Um. Well, I had some questions for you.
All right.
Um. I'm transgender, and my mom and my whole family doesn't support me at all.
Okay.
And so they're like they're they're just totally against me. And but I have other friends who are supportive of me, and it's like, Mom, why won't you be supportive of me? And I said, because this is the way God made me.
Yep.
And she doesn't care.
Do you still live with her? Like, are you still, like, are, what, you don't need to tell me what your age is, but just like, are you still in the same town as your family? Do you guys still
No,
talk a
I
lot?
live in Springfield.
Okay, so you're far away.
Um, yeah, I'm far away.
Okay. Did you decide, like, did you realize who you were while you were at home with your family, or is this something that you realized after you had left them?
It's something. It was something when I was still with him.
Okay.
But my dad, he was very supportive, and he always said, you know, I'm still his little girl, and and my mom, she didn't like it when my dad said that, and it kind of really hurts me because when she doesn't support me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you have support. You have supports right now. Do you, just in terms of your relationship with God or with religion or with an understanding of why we were put here on this earth? Do you and your mom, do you share, like, do you agree on at least a number of topics? Like, were you connected with God when you were young? And are you
Yes.
still? And you still are, I assume, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. My secret is that I'm pretty sure that God is transgendered, or you can look at it like God is all genders and like all parts of the spectrum. So that must be difficult to have someone who you love and care about so connected to you by blood, who can't see that you are just you are exactly what you were made by God to be, were meant to be, and for you to have the freedom and relaxation of that understanding, it must be tough.
It is really tough on me because I told my mom and everybody, I said, I said, I'm moving to Springfield because I can't take it because you guys keep nagging me all the time about it. And I said, and I said, my doctors even told me I was born all female and I can actually have kids, and they don't seem to think I can.
Sorry, the doctors think you can have kids, but it's your family doesn't think you can have kids.
Yeah,
They just don't understand.
yeah.
Hmm. Well, what have you tried that hasn't worked? Like, is this the key problem? Is you feel comfortable in your skin and you've got a good supportive environment around you, but it's really just that it's the one problem of having your family understand that you are a comfortable human being. Is that the key problem right now?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Okay. And so, what? I guess give me an example or two. Like, uh, what So you got your dad on. Is it? Do you have siblings? Are your siblings okay with it? Is it really just your mother, or is it a little bit more complicated?
Well, it's a little bit more complicated because my mom and my sisters and my grandma and everybody in the whole family don't want to support it. But it's just my dad supporting it. But he passed away.
Okay. Okay. That's tough when the person who is in your corner is no longer there. Hmm. What do you do you feel really connected to your mother? Like, is what sort of resolution would you maybe be looking for? Like, what, or if not, everything's rosy, everything's great, we now all get along and love one another, and I'm fully respected for who I am. Think about maybe what a couple baby steps or a couple little things in the right direction might be. Like, what would be something that you think your family might be able to give back to you that you could ask them for, that is not complete and full acceptance, but is at least a, a step on a longer journey for them realizing that you are exactly who you want to be, and you just want to share the love with them that every family deserves. You know what I mean? Rather than thinking the big picture, just what can you think of a couple things that you might that might be beneficial in the sort of journey you're on?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't mean I don't love them because I do, but it's just like it's really hard for them to understand on what I'm going through.
Yeah, yeah, and I think well, you might disagree with your mother and your family. I think it would also be beneficial to walk a mile in their shoes, and um, understand what their difficulties understand what their difficulties might be based on how they were raised by their parents and their parents and their parents. The well-deserved rights and respects towards transgendered people has happened has happened quickly from a government, like from a legal standpoint, but that doesn't change that a lot of people have mindsets that are shaped by a different era, and it might be more than a little difficult for them to just make a quick switch.
Yeah.
But but that I can also see how that hurts though, right? Because love for your child, whatever type of life your child chooses to want to live, that should be more important. That should um
Yeah.
that should exceed any particular thing.
Oh yeah.
How do you make your mom proud? Like, what are
I call her sometimes
okay.
and talk to her on the phone.
And when you talk to her, does it seem like there's any progress? Like that you've been away and you feel better about yourself? Has there been any change in her mindset or mentality that seems like it might be heading in the right direction?
No,
No.
'cause every time I talk to her, she's like, well, he does this, and I prefer to go by she and her and everything like that.
Yeah. I guess maybe in that particular situation, like with regard to the pronouns, maybe that's a little thing that's difficult for her, and though you would prefer to have your pronouns be in the feminine, um, letting that get to you might be the wrong battle to fight. Do you know what I mean? Might be the wrong thing that you need your mother to start understanding about your spirit and your soul and how you feel free.
Yeah.
So, and like, I get it. Like, there's so many trigger things with parents and family, because, you know, with love comes a lot of time spent together, and, you know, there a lot of things that cannot be forgotten. You know, just spending that much time with somebody who's family, and like little things can get your back up, but that that might not be the thing to worry about with regard to getting you and your family and your mom into a bit of a better place.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Jet.
Because my dad talked to his preacher
Yeah.
once before, and he says, my child wants to be a female, and he said, you should love her no matter what. And my dad started kind of, starting to get ready to cry, and the preacher says, he says, you should love her for who she is, and not judge her. And my dad said, okay. He said, I'll love her. I'll love her as my little girl. Ever since he's loved me as his little girl.
That's so tough that you got acceptance from your dad that you can't get from your other family members.
I know.
Has any, like, does your mom have the same preacher? Like, did they have a similar conversation, or that's not a conversation she would even want to have with them?
She's got the same preacher.
But I guess the trick with a preacher is, I mean, the preacher can say whatever they want, but, you know, we all have ears and we all have unique personalities, and, you know, we almost hear, in some cases, unless we're really going to be open-minded, we sort of just hear what we want to hear, what confirms our already held perceptions.
Yeah. And they already, the doctors already told me, my genitals, all my male genitals, they don't even work. So I have to go and have surgery.
Okay. Is that like because of, is that almost like a gift from God, or is that from medical, or?
No, I'm wanting to say it's kind of like a gift from God.
Cool.
Because I told my mom, I said, Mom, I said, I love the man upstairs. I said, I love him. And I said, and he loves me. But I said, that doesn't change anything about my gender.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Isn't, I you know what, one thing I find frustrating is the notion that God is a man, that we use this capital H, he, and the man upstairs, and I think that God is so much more powerful than anything that is a gender. But I'll use that as an example. Like, history makes it really difficult for us to change things and change people's minds. And so God as a male character is, set 10, 20, 30, 40, however many thousand years ago. And it's something that people have a really difficult time letting go of. So for some reason, us mammals, gender is a very strong rooted concept even before a child is born, right? Like, everybody's picking out whether it's going to be blue or pink or all of these all of these ridiculous assumptions that should not matter, because all that should matter is that a spirit has been born into a body, and if you nurture and love that spirit as a good parent should, that spirit will come to life exactly the way that it needs to and it wants to. So in a way, religion doesn't help. I guess I'm a deeply spiritual person. I wouldn't have an internet show unless I was. But I do find a lot of things in religion make it difficult for us to let our spirits shine, because a lot of religion is not necessarily directly from God, but it's organized by people, and these people want to control other people. And gender's one big way that they use to control us.
Yeah.
So that you are liberated the way you are is truly beautiful.
Yeah.
And you can and question, like, and you feel no, sorry, different question. How does your mother's disapproval impact the good you feel about yourself?
Well, she loves me, everything, and she doesn't, she doesn't take me for granted or anything, but she says, well, I don't like on what you're doing, but she says, I do love you for who you are.
But is that the who you are? Is that the who she thinks you are, or she loves you for who you've decided you are? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean about the difference?
I don't.
Well, your mother, you know she loves you, and she might be she is confused or concerned about decisions you've made about who you are, but she does still love you. So I guess I'm just trying to understand what is a realistic thing that you could ask of your mother or get from your family that you need. Because it seems like you're a strong soul on your own, and you can almost respect. There's a way that you can respect your family's difficulties, but know that your family does love you. It's just that for some reason they can't understand what you understand. You were given a gift of wisdom, of physical and spiritual wisdom that they don't have, and is for some reason very hard to explain to them. But you shouldn't let it. I'm trying to think of a way so that it doesn't impact you negatively the way that it is. That you can forgive them and see their misunderstanding as a source of strength, and that you would, and just on a daily basis, anybody you interact with or anything you do, that you make sure to remember that you have a family who misunderstands you. They love you and they misunderstand you. And so in all of your interactions and conduct, make sure that you don't misunderstand anyone else. Make sure that you let everyone else's spirit find itself. I don't know, I'm trying to come up with a positive way that'll help you think about your family, not in a negative, but just in a they haven't and maybe they can't learn what I learned.
Yeah.
And we're all teachers.
Well, and, yeah, we're all teachers.
Yeah.
And I haven't told my mom this, but I have a boyfriend, and he's very supportive of me for who I am, and he loves me for who I am. And he says, that's not right what your mom is trying to tell you about your gender, and we get you all upset and everything. And I said, no. I said, but I said, I just have to overlook it and go on.
And do you have difficulty with that?
No?
Yeah. I mean, I guess what I just suggested, the difference would be not to overlook it, but to integrate it into your understanding that the world has a wide variety of people, some of whom will not be able to have their minds changed, and not overlook that, but just have that as your daily understanding, and know that that's one of the challenges that God has set before us, is that we should try to help people who don't understand things. We should try to help show them more of the truth and more of the light, but we also have to have the strength to not get angry, to not get agitated, to not try to force something on someone that they don't want to understand. That, a live and let live. And I know it sucks when it's your blood and it's your family, but I think the same principle does apply. Like, you should hold it through every one of God's creatures on earth.
Yeah. Same with, like same with dogs and cats. They're one of God's creatures. And I feel, animals and human beings, and they're all one of God's people.
Yeah, there's that part in Genesis at the beginning where God tells Adam and Eve that they have dominion over all of the creatures on the earth. And dominion to me means responsible rule, but I think everybody misinterpreted it as control, that because we were made in God's image, we are more important animals than every other animal. But dominion means, like a responsibility, an understanding that we are all the same. We're all just trying to breathe air on this earth. You know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing that connects all of the creatures and all of the plants, is we're all just trying to take advantage of this air that God has given us, and do the best we can with the breath that also holds that air. So yeah, I mean, I see very little distinction between humans and any other animal, other than that we think we're real special.
Yeah.
And we are, but we shouldn't be destructive.
Yeah, we are.
And we shouldn't not accept people for who they want to be, but it happens.
Yeah. That's true.
You sound strong, though. That's what I like. This is difficult for you, but you sound like you've got a lot of strength in your heart. So that makes me that makes me feel good to know that that you have that.
Yeah, and that's what my boyfriend was telling me too. He said, "Man," he said, "you're really strong enough to get out here and do what you do." And he says, "You're strong and you're powerful, and you can, if people tells you they say something wrong, and just turn the other cheek."
Yeah.
But I think that's all the questions I had for right now.
Okay.
I just thought calling, kind of get your advice on it and everything, and so.
Yeah, I think you could be. I think a lot of transgender individuals have difficult times with their parents, and it sounds like your situation with your mother is definitely not the. I hesitate to say it's not the worst, because it bears on your shoulders, and it is something that's very important and painful for you. But you do have a link. You do have a link to your family, and they don't fully understand the spirit that's inside of you, but you're not completely cut off from them. So I would say just maintain an open, understanding heart, and communicate with your family regularly, and just know that as the best way for them to discover and be comfortable with who you are is for you to always approach them with an open-minded forgiveness for any of the dumb things they might say or any of the really upsetting things they might say. Just have a forgiving heart when you communicate with them, and I really think that it might take a little time, but since you're so strong, they will probably start to surprise you soon. And all it takes is a little bit of work on your end.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Keep me posted. I would love to give me a call a month or so, and I'd love to hear how everything's going.
Alrighty.
Cool.
I will do that.
I'm terrible at I can end a phone call for 45 minutes. I'm really tough. But it was excellent to speak to you, Julie.
Yeah, it's nice speaking to you too.
Yeah. All right. Have a great day.
I will, you too.
Okay. All right. Be good.
I will, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Was that helpful? I think that was fucking helpful. What do you think? I guess I'll I probably have stated this before, but I'll state it again. No, I'm happy with that. I take calls. I take calls from any gender, any species. I have communicated with a variety of raccoons from time to time. Any of God's creatures who are finding themselves slightly out of tune with their relatives and their relatives' understanding of what garbage can they choose to live on, and the food that they choose to eat, and the type of raccoon that they want to be, that is a true reflection of the inner raccoon. I am accepting of anyone's calls on that. And seriously, it goes so many ways when you don't understand something. It's a lot easier to be upset about it. And I just think that any good Christian, more so than any of the dumb rules in the Old Testament, which are really only meant for Jewish people anyways, so we don't even need to worry about it, because in the New Testament, after Jesus, everything got figured out, that we're all forgiven already all forgiven for all of the things that we're going to do. Don't let any of the little bits of the Bible, the little things, don't let any of those trump the I hate the word Trump now. Don't let any of those override the fundamental rule of forgive what you don't understand, and always assume that you have something to learn. And as long as we remain learners, and as long as we remain teachers, I think we're more likely to find peace with our family, with our blood family, with our family of the city or town that we live in, with our species family, and with our, you know, flora and fauna family. Always be learning, always be teaching. There you go. All right. So this potential bout of wisdom was brought to you um, by the letters D and J. I am available for your calls at any time. 1-866-10-666-3. I look forward to more of your questions. All right. I'll see you later on the internet.